Thank you, James, for coming on here for an interview. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, hi there. Thanks for having me. My name is Eri James, and I'm undergrad graphic designer and part-time VTuber. And yes, I'm from Malaysia, of course. So yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so the first question is, when did you become a VTuber and why?
Mm. If I have to share, then it's gonna be like May, May, in the middle of May. I think May 11, 2019.
Oh, wow, that's
That's when
specific.
I actually, that's when I actually posted my first video, but
Mm-hmm.
I've been dabbling here and there and making some test content since like middle of 2018. So
Oh,
yeah.
really? Okay. So 2019 is when you officially started as a VTuber.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Uh, so why did you what inspired you to become a VTuber in the first place?
Back then, my goal was actually like pretty different actually. So VTubing is not really something that people actually want to become at the time,
Mm-hmm.
but it's something that we just fall into. And yeah, I'm much more interested in the technology aspect of it, basically. Like all
Mm-hmm.
these before the rise of like using 2D and everything, everything was like predominantly 3D. So I'm very interested in those 3D technologies like body tracking, face tracking, and all that jazz. So yeah, that's what got
Mm-hmm.
into me. That's what got me into this whole entire thing. And it wasn't until like near the end of the year, I guess, near the end of the same year, 2019, around October, November, that I'm finally like saying like, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna do this thing like an actual VTubing thing.
Mm-hmm. So can you talk about the design of your character? What is the sort of the lore behind it? Because it's a sort of a iconic one in the community.
mm, it's gonna be like a very tough one because uh, when I first designed my character, it, it was actually it was actually like a based on a pre-made what is it
Oh,
template
Vroid?
from the real no, not Vroid, reality,
Oh,
the
okay.
reality app. So yeah, back then when reality is still just a Japanese only app, uh, I played around with it and then created the character, and then it kind of like stick with me, and that yeah, I just expand from there. Go to
Mm-hmm.
Vroid and then to Live 2D and then Vroid again.
Do you prefer Vroid over Live 2D?
I don't really have that much preference. It's more like, to me, I view it as like a use case. So
Mm.
Eri as a character will always be the same character, but it can be in different dimensions and in different mediums. So there's the Live 2D version if I want to use Live 2D, and then there's the 3D version if I want to move around.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. The next question is, when did the sort of the Malaysian VTuber community start, and how did it begin? Like, how did it all come together?
Okay, for about this one, it's never really something that we actually like plan to make in the beginning. So remember when I said like when I started uploading it like May event. So at the same time, on the same week, two other Malaysian VTubers immediately like popping out. So
Oh.
the three of us like gather around and then like we just say like, you know what, let's group up and find the other Malaysian VTubers if we can find. Unlike today, back then it's very hard to find. So it's very close knit group back then.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't until like October, like around October, when I said like I want to like do VTubing, like actually doing VTubing thing, that we finally say like, you know what, maybe we can give ourselves some like a name. And we couldn't decide any kind of name, so we just call ourselves uh MYVT, my VT basically. It's supposed to be a placeholder name, but 5 years later it still stick to this day, so I guess we're gonna run with that anyways.
Yeah.
So so back then it's still just a small group, but after around like 2020, middle of 2020, the next year, there is a spike because we all know what happened. Everyone's
Yeah.
stuck in their homes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we already said like, yeah, we cannot be like just a group anymore. So we're going to open all borders and just like let everyone just like be a part of this like community. That's why like we don't really call like strictly ask people to say like use MYVT, but just call yourself Malaysian VTuber. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Mhm.
basically that's the gist of it.
Okay, okay, that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's all.
You said there was two other VTubers that popped up after you. Would you mind telling me their names? I mean, the stage names.
I mean, uh, one of them is still active, but he's currently on hiatus for this month. Is Asu of
Ace
Justice. You might,
Ace
yeah,
Justice. How do you
EISU.
EISU? Okay, Justice. Okay. The other person?
The other one, sadly, he's already graduated. Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he's already graduated in 2021.
Oh,
It's
2021. Okay.
Oka.
What? Sorry, you cut off a bit.
His name is Okami, basically.
Okami, like Okami, Hunter Okami, is that?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
not Hunter Okami,
Oh,
but
okay.
just Okami.
Okay, Okami. All
Yes,
right.
this is how VTubers back then. Our names are plain and simple.
Oh, okay. Well, whoops. Okay. So it seems that from your perspective, that when you sort of began, you sort of stated yourself as the Malaysian VTuber, to others suddenly join. Uh, do you remember? Is there any VTubers that came before you that are also Malaysian? Or are you the
Oh yes,
first
there are
one
some,
that
bro.
would are you the first one that has come out as Malaysian in the VTubing sphere?
Well, I think it depends on like how people actually see it than how I personally see it. Personally, I don't really view myself as the first Malaysian VTuber because there's already a VTuber and is a Malaysian ever since the inception back in 2017.
Oh really?
So yeah, but he doesn't really like use that term like all the time because he much more prefer to call himself as in like an online artist.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
His name is Suparaida. So yeah, he's a.
Super. Okay.
So if you really want to go down to technicality, then he's definitely gonna be the first Malaysian VTuber because
Mm-mm.
he came out right after Kizuna Ai appeared.
Oh, all right. And okay, yeah, 2016. Yeah. Oh, that was a long
And
time
then like
ago.
and then there's a few more creators that is like within the virtual sphere, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't really call themselves as VTubers, but they make content in the virtual world like VR chat and everything. There
Mm-hmm.
are a couple of them that I know, Zoikaku and as well as Regoret. So
Okay.
they make content before before me within the virtual space. So if you really want to call them as VTubers, it's also can be considered technically correct.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's one person, his name is Roselia. If anything, he's the one who's actually fully using the term VTuber and Malaysian.
Okay.
The first one before me. He's
Okay.
still active until right now. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I know regret. How do you spell soikaku? Do you know how to
Uh, it's like ZWEI
ZWE? Oh, okay, EI.
and then KAKU Kaku.
Okay, Zekaku. And the Roselia?
Yeah, Roselia. Roselia.
Okay, 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 okay. Thank you. All right, that's gonna be some research for me. Okay, next question.
Mhm.
What is your view on the current state of NYVT
Current state. Current
as if
state.
of now, before the fourth anniversary?
Mm, It's definitely already much more different than before. It's
Mm,
definitely changed. That's one thing for sure. But it's not something that we that I don't expect. That's something that we don't expect because first and foremost, MYVT literally stands for Malaysian VTubers. So there's not really anything that we truly envision for like it should be like this or it should be like that. But all I can say is that I'm really happy with how the state it is in right now. Sure, there are like problems, but what community is that if there's no problems, right? But there are a lot of achievements, and Malaysian VTubers are finally like reaching out to the international stage as well. So, if anything, it's how do you say? It's uh, it's reassuring, and it's definitely blooming. And all I can say is that I hope that all of us can like help each other out so that we can, reach greater heights together. So yeah, that's how I actually like see it.
mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Next question. What do you think will happen to the Malaysian VTuber community in the future, either far or near?
Mm, One thing that I can say for sure is that this scene, this industry in the first place is literally and virtually borderless. So there's not really any limit to where the Malaysian VTubing scene can go. But at the same time, if the people within the scene stop fighting or stop to like being motivated to create more, then we definitely not gonna reach anywhere. So in the near future, with how things like develop right now, all I can say is we will start seeing Malaysian VTubers name within the global spaces, like literally global spaces with within the global awareness as well. And we are really close to that, so it's just a matter of like push and also luck. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
in the near future, I guess there's gonna be like some hurdles. Definitely, we're gonna be facing with hurdles first before we can go to that to where that I mentioned earlier. Because even now we're hitting with a lot of problems, and it's up to us how we're gonna be adapting to it. And yeah,
You keep saying the mention of the problems that the Malaysian VTuber community has to face. Would you mind telling me what are those problems are?
basically adapting to the globalization and its universal culture, because as Malaysians we are very traditional and conservative, but that's not a bad thing. What I'm trying to like what I'm just like worried about is that a lot of Malaysian VTubers, because we are so enraptured by our small bubble, we are very afraid to like burst and like explore. And because of that, we tend to push people away. And this in turn will like close the doors of chances for us to grow. So this is the most glaring problem that we have. But there's no like really apparent how do you say apparent solution for this, and it's more come down to like personal views. So time will tell. Time will tell.
All right. What is the future of you? What is the future for Ari James?
One thing for sure, uh, I'm not gonna do this for that long. I'm already in this industry for since like mid 2018 or 2019, if you really want to count it like officially. So it's been a really long time. But all I can say is that I might be slowing down, but I'm always gonna be like aiming for something higher. So I'm even back then I'm carrying like the mindset and also like the spirit of like VTubers from the old age, because the mentality of like the old VTubers and new VTubers are very vastly different. So for me, kind of like most of the old VTubers, we we are inside this thing because we want to innovate. We want to like do something different. So seeing that the scene is kind of like well, not starting to, it's pretty much oversaturated with the same things already. We are I am also trying to find ways to like personally express myself in a different kind of ways, and maybe something that is like new, unique, and speak expressing myself. So I'm not even sure like where I'm actually gonna be, but one thing for sure is that I'm gonna be leaving some marks, whether it be for good or for bad. Well,
Oh, right.
Time will tell.
What you want to tell about your lore, your Wattpad stories?
Oh, you read that?
Yes.
Oh my god. It's just a side project because it's kind of like interesting. So because like everyone have like their own individual lore, like just for their own. But the one that I actually wrote is actually involving with other VTubers as well. So it's kind of like a collective lore instead. So that's what like just playing around. I'm not really that serious about it, but I do put my all in, even though it's not really that like super serious. But I put effort. Actually, put like right now it's I'm writing the sixth chapter.
Ooh, wow.
So for those like, for those like who don't like haven't read it, so it's kind of like a modern day mythology kind of thing that is like with mirroring like local mythologies, like something that from my ethnicity, which is Kadazan Dusun. So I
Oh,
use
okay.
like some connection there, not directly connected, but some connection and a lot of changes because like straight up using like old old gods and goddesses, spirits and everything like that is kind of like overused already. So I'm kind of like giving it a twist, something.
Mm,
But
okay.
yeah, it's just to explore. It's not like a blind story as well. I'm trying to like give like a story about like redemption, something like that. So yeah.
Okay, well, good luck with that. Okay, the last question. Uh, for anybody new looking at Malaysian VTubing, what Malaysian VTubers would you recommend to people who are like sort of at the top of the rabbit hole? What would you recommend them to watch?
At the top of the rabbit hole,
Yeah.
if they really want someone that is like very close to the Malaysian culture, and first I would say Yui Tetitu Satomi
Satomi. Okay.
from entertainment. Uh-huh. Because she speaks a lot about like things from Malaysia as well. So it's kind of like a window. She's kind of like a window to the Malaysian scene. And then who else? Who else? If they really want someone that is like really having like if they enjoy music, then I will definitely push them towards Zefriana or Aruri Auregalia.
Okay.
And then of course I'm gonna push Asu as well. If they really enjoy how entertaining games and activities, definitely I'm gonna go and push out Asu. Yeah.
Okay. I think that is it. That's all the questions that I have. Thank you, James, for joining me. Yeah, yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you so
sure.
much. Thank you for leading the way for NYVT.
It's nothing. It just happens, to be honest.
Okay.